It's good to have you with us as we go step by step through Mark's Gospel. In 2012, Sir Chris Hoy won 2 gold medals at the London Olympics. Both of them were in cycling, one in the keirin and one in the men's team sprint. I remember watching both of those performances and being amazed at his power and speed. And as the replays played over the days, that amazement remained. The passage that we're going to look at today is Mark chapter 1, verses 21 to 45. It's a passage that contains several miracles that Jesus did. And it would be easy to just look at those miracles and be amazed by them. But I want us to go a little bit deeper. I want to ask this question. What do these miracles teach us about Jesus, the person? What do we see about Jesus here? Who is he? And what is he like? And there are 3 things that I want to mention. The first thing that we see here is that Jesus has great authority. In verse 25, Jesus is confronted with a man with an evil spirit. Now, let's be honest, that does sound a little bit strange to us today. In the 21st century, many of us have been kind of brought up or taught that everything has a physical explanation. But the Bible tells us that that's not true. That there are things that are going on in this world and in this creation that we cannot see. And here we find that with this man. He's unwell, but it's not just because of a physical cause. There is a spiritual reason too. What does Jesus do as he's confronted with this man? Well, he speaks to the evil spirit. He says, "Be quiet, come out of him." And what's the result? Well, the man becomes well and the evil spirit leaves. All Jesus does is speak and the situation is changed. Now, as a parent, I know how difficult it can be to get my kids to do the things I want them to do. Often speaking is not enough, but for Jesus it is. He speaks and the evil spirit leaves. He has great authority. But we also see here that Jesus has a caring heart. In verse 31, Jesus is taken into the home of Simon Peter, one of his disciples. And Peter's mother-in-law is unwell. What does Jesus do? Well, we read, "So he went to her, he took her hand, and he helped her up. The fever left her." Here is the caring nature of Jesus. There's someone unwell in the house, so what does he do? He goes in, and gently he takes her hand, and he heals her. In verse 41, we see his caring heart too. Here he's confronted with a leper, someone with an infectious skin disease. In those days, if you had leprosy, you were isolated from the community. No one would talk to you. No one would come near you. What does Jesus do? Well, verse 41, he reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing," he said. "Be clean." This man, who no one's gone near, maybe for years, certainly no one's touched him. Here Jesus reaches out and touches the man and heals him. Jesus has a caring, loving heart. But then thirdly, as we look at the miracles of Jesus here, we see his great humility. Why did Jesus do miracles? Why did he heal people? Why did he do these amazing signs? It wasn't because he wanted to be famous. You can imagine if Jesus was around today, how many people would want to get him on their chat show on the TV? How many people would want to plaster his image or videos of his miracles on YouTube? It would be easy for him, wouldn't it, to become famous, to do it for the attention. But what do we read here in this passage? Well, after he healed the leper, he said to him, "See that you don't tell this to anyone." There's almost a secrecy about Jesus in the statement he makes. He's not in it for the fame. He's not in it to be known. He's not in it to be made a fuss of. Why is Jesus healing? Because he wants to live in obedience to God and because he wants to serve the people around him. So Jesus has great authority. He speaks and the evil spirits listen. Jesus has a gentle, loving heart. And Jesus has a humble nature. I wonder, let me ask you a question. Is Jesus someone that you'd like to know? Is Jesus someone that you'd like to know? For me, my answer to that question is yes. And the more I discover about Jesus, the more I read and understand about Jesus in the Bible, the more I want to get to know him. That's all for today, but there'll be more coming as we continue to go step by step through Mark's Gospel. If you want to know when we bring out more videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel or like our Facebook page. If you'd like to follow along in Mark's Gospel as we go through these videos, there'll be links in the description to the passage we're looking at in each video. But also, if you want a copy of Mark's Gospel for yourself, please send us your details and we'd love to send one to you. Hopefully, see you next time.